Legal opinion on the no confidence motions against Member of Parliament expected soon. Ghana Police Force hosts vaccination drive for officers. In the region, Cuba marks the anniversary of its revolution quietly amid pandemic and protests. And internationally, about 200 deaths, more missing people in India's flood. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. The Legal Affairs Ministry is expected to offer legal opinion on the no-confidence motions against the opposition leader and 2 government ministers by the end of this week. This was confirmed by the Clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs. Speaker of the House, Mansour Nadir, had sought legal advice from Legal Affairs Minister, Attorney General Anil Nandalal on the motions. A few weeks ago, Harman had filed no-confidence motions against Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony and Home Affairs Minister Rubison Ben. In his motions, he had called for their resignations over what he claimed was the poor running of their ministries. The government side, through the Prime Minister, retired Brigadier Mark Phillips, filed a motion against Harman the following day. In the wake of these no-confidence motions, Speaker Nadir had sought legal advice from the AG Chambers earlier this month. Based on this legal advice, Nadir will have the final say on whether the motions will be allowed on the floor of the National Assembly. In this report, a man has turned himself in for the fatal hit and run of a security guard on New Road, Vredenhoop, 3 weeks ago. Esther Sobers has the update on that situation.
After several weeks of trying to ascertain the driver involved in the hit-and-run fatal accident on the New Road, Vredenhoop, west coast of Demerara on Wednesday, July 7, 2021, the suspect turned himself into the police with his attorney. According to reports, the suspect has already been placed before the courts on charge. After he turned himself in, the suspect reportedly told investigators that he was unaware that he struck down a pedestrian. He claimed that he thought that he hit a horse and decided to drive away. On the night in question, the suspect allegedly struck down 47-year-old Reginald Moore, a security guard of Greenridge Park, Essequibo, and without rendering assistance as he drove away from the scene. Moore's nude body was later found lying along the roadway. His body bore multiple lacerations to the head. The autopsy report revealed he died from multiple injuries consistent with a motor vehicle accident. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. On Monday, ranks of the Ghana Police Force benefited from a vaccination drive which was spearheaded by Deputy Commissioner Operations Acting Clifton Hicken. The drive was conducted at the Police Officers' Mess Annex at Ivlery. The 2-day initiative, which continues today, is part of the force's objective to ensure that it achieves 100% vaccination for all its ranks. Throughout the 2 days, ranks will be given the opportunity to receive their first or second dose of the AstraZeneca, Sinopharm, or Sputnik vaccines. Thereafter, each rank will complete 15 minutes of observation before leaving the vaccination site. This initiative comes at a time when Ghana is striving to achieve herd immunity against the deadly coronavirus. As of today, 50.7% of the country's adult population have gotten their first dose of the COVID vaccine, while some 26.8% have been fully inoculated. Don't go away after the break. Woman robbed of $2 million at work site in South Renfrew Gardens, and GT&T relaunches its WhatsApp billing campaign.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold. and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Tastes so good. It's gotta be made with Alabama Baker wheat flour. Produced from quality soft winter wheat and quality enzymes to give a superior product that's guaranteed to be luscious, delightful to taste, and stays fresher longer. Alabama Baker wheat flour is perfect for breads, roti, puri, pastries, chow mein, pastas, and many other delights. Imported and distributed by Alabama Trading. 6566 Robb Street, Borda, and 23 Lombard Street. Telephone 225-5800.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home. We also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Since its initial launch in June of 2021, GT&T has announced that nearly 14,000 customers have opted to receive their monthly billing invoices via WhatsApp billing. GT&T customers can now access their DSL, Blaze, landline, and postpaid mobile bills immediately after they are available on their mobile phones via WhatsApp. In a press statement, GT&T Chief Executive Officer Damian Blackburn expressed his delight at the positive response the company has received from customers since its inception. According to Blackburn, customers can expect more updates to the WhatsApp billing platform to improve their overall customer experience. Customers who want to receive their GT&T bills via WhatsApp should visit their website at www.gtt.co.gy. Scroll to the bottom under Support and select Bill Delivery Change Request. 3 men have been arrested and a motorcycle lodged after an alleged $2 million robbery on Friday, July 23rd in South Ruimveldt. According to reports, the victim, a 39-year-old female clerk, uplifted the cash from the head office of her workplace to pay workers at the Caneview Avenue South Ruimveldt branch. Upon arrival at the branch around 4:30 p.m., the victim parked her car and was waiting to pay the workers, as she usually does. While in the car, the suspect noticed 6 unidentifiable males, 2 armed with handguns on 3 XR motorcycles, stopped behind the car. 2 of the pillion riders dismounted the cycles and approached her with firearms drawn, demanding she hand over the money, which she refused to do. The suspects then forced open the driver's door, pulled her out and began to cuff her about her belly and face. One of the suspects then picked up the cash, which was secured in an envelope. One perpetrator then discharged 3 rounds, 1 in the air and 2 in the direction of the car, and escaped. The men are in custody assisting with the investigations. Don't go away after the break. Cuba marks the anniversary of its revolution quietly amid pandemic, protests, and COVID-19 Delta variant surge in US leads to new restrictions and jab push. But before that, here is the bridge retraction schedule.
problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and Sleep Center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. The most important Cuban revolutionary holiday is being marked quietly this year against the backdrop of the pandemic and recent mass anti-government protests. It is the 68th anniversary of the Cuban Revolution, but people are finding little to celebrate this year. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
For the first time in 6 decades, there were no mass celebrations to mark Cuba's most important revolutionary holiday. Only posters of former President Fidel Castro alluding to the need for national unity. July 26 marks the anniversary of the 1953 attack on the Moncada military barracks that eventually led to the overthrow of Cuba's former Batista dictatorship. Authorities have canceled the usual commemorative celebrations, blaming a severe spike in COVID-19 infections and deaths. But this month's unprecedented anti-government protests were also a factor.
There are many young people that didn't live through what I lived, who've seen better times. They want to live better given the propaganda of the enemy. Politics is like that.
There are reports of hundreds of so-called counter-revolutionaries detained and being held in prisons throughout the island. Over the weekend, the government confirmed that some 60 protesters had been sentenced in summary trials, accused of inciting public disorder. One of them was artist Anielo Troya, whose mother, Raisa Gonzalez, says that her son and a dozen others were sentenced to a 1-year prison term without a lawyer present.
My son raised his hand and told the judge that he had the right to an attorney, he had the right to be defended, and that he had not been given the opportunity. He was very angry, and then they immediately came up to him, and I said, please shut up, please shut up. Then they put the handcuffs on him.
those kind of...
Opposition lawyer Eloy Vieda, who's now living in Canada, says authorities are trying to silence the voice of defendants.
They are trying to eliminate all the facts, all the arguments that can speech or that can be said in opposition to what the government is doing right now. That's why they are trying to maintain lawyers out of those processes.
Meanwhile, hundreds of Cuban Americans supporting the protesters in Cuba marked the July 26th anniversary in front of the White House. But on the streets of Cuba's capital, demonstrations of any kind were conspicuously absent. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera.
In the United States, the Delta variant is spreading, and the low vaccination rates in many states are adding to the officials' worries. 3 out of 10 people in the U.S. have not had the coronavirus vaccine. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna reports.
Domestic travel has returned to pre-pandemic levels. But with the spread of the virulent Delta variant and the low rates of vaccination in many states, this has become a threat rather than a cause for celebration. Despite pressure from the travel industry, the White House says existing restrictions on travel from abroad will be maintained.
The more transmissible Delta variant is spreading both here and around the world. Driven by the Delta variant, cases are rising here at home, particularly among those who are unvaccinated, and appear likely to continue in the weeks ahead.
In New York, a COVID-19 vaccination will become mandatory for all the city's 350,000 workers. Those who refuse will have to wear masks when at work and also be tested once a week.
In September, everything's going to come together. September is the pivot point of the recovery. September is when many employers are bringing back a lot of their employees. September is when school starts full strength. September is when people come back from the summer. September is when it will all happen.
The greatest surge of infections is in states with the lowest rates of vaccination. And some districts are not waiting for state guidance to take action. The city of St. Louis in Missouri is reintroducing a mask mandate despite significant opposition from some elected officials.
Masks have become a symbol of a political divide in our country. But they're not a bridge too far, as some might say. Rather, they put the virus in the slow lane and give us time to get more people vaccinated.
And on a national level, more than 50 medical organizations have issued a joint statement saying a vaccine should be federally mandated for all health professionals. Within hours, the Veteran Affairs Department became the first federal body to formally issue a vaccine mandate for its more than 100,000 healthcare workers. A sign the Biden administration is prepared to flex its muscle in combating COVID-19, despite the real political risk of being accused of federal overreach. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And internationally, in India, 900 villages have been affected, 100 are completely submerged, and hundreds of thousands of people have been moved to safety. Flooding and landslides are common in India during the monsoon season, but scientists say the frequency and intensity of heavy rains have increased because of climate change. Al Jazeera's Elizabeth Punaram reports.
Boats are the only way to get around much of Maharashtra state after last week's torrential rain. 900 villages have been affected, 100 are now submerged. Rescue teams have evacuated hundreds of thousands of people, many from the rooftops of their flooded homes.
We have evacuated a COVID-19 patient from Vadange village whose oxygen level dipped and carried him towards Shivaji Bridge, from where he'll be taken to hospital by ambulance.
It's reported around 200 people have died in the flooding and landslides, and dozens remain missing.
There were 5 people inside. My mother, my brother, his wife, and my brother's 2 children. Only the boy's body has been recovered. The rest of the 4 family members still haven't been traced.
Flooding and landslides are common in India during the monsoon season, but scientists say the frequency and intensity of heavy rains has increased because of climate change. Ratnagiri in Maharashtra has seen its heaviest rainfall in the month of July in 40 years. The district's administrator said illegal construction along the Vashishti River and discharge from the Kolkewadi Dam caused added problems, and environmentalists agree.
Remember, a river doesn't move in a straight line, but by virtue of it expands both sides, and that is what we call the floodplain. And that's how the natural system of actually absorbing the excess water and thus reducing flooding. When the river is not able to, or to its potential cannot drain out water, it will spring. And if you have township coming up on the floodplain, it will enter your towns.
Maharashtra State leader Uddhav Thackeray has been visiting the worst affected areas and has promised compensation. But environmentalists say the government's priority must be to deal with the impact of climate change during the annual monsoon and to stop human development from causing more disasters. Elizabeth Puranam, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.